Well, anyways, it's been a long time. Hello, everybody.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up because I already forgot. I think this is episode 22 or 23, something like that.
I thought we both agreed we were gonna stop counting already. Just go run with it.
You want too many things, and at the same time, you don't want anything. Okay, you're a difficult man.
I don't. Yeah, I'm a difficult person to please. Well, anyways, how goes it?
It goes, dude. The world around us has changed so much in such a short period of time. I don't even know what the hell.
Where to start? I know there's so many things that we can cover.
Yeah.
I mean, we discussed it before, or I brought it up to you, but you've been messing with that AI image thing a lot, actually.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm drinking some delicious yuzu blonde.
It's not beer time yet, sir.
No. Well, listen.
Or was it?
It's coming back.
Was it Whiskey Corner or whatever?
Our alcohol time / whiskey corner / whatever the hell we want it to be will be coming back shortly. Not that anybody cares. Not that anybody really even listens that far. But that's okay, because it's just for you and I. Because this nigga...
time capsule.
This nigga... And this is where we can, kind of, I guess, start, right? Not that anybody cares, but hey, it's a conversation. So deal with it. I'm going back up to Alaska for miserable work to make good money. Basically, the job that I've been at, I don't remember if it's the same one from our last episode. I don't think so. But anyways, the job that I'm currently at sucks. It is one of the worst places I've been at.
Wow, you sound like a real millennial right now.
Well, I didn't say why it sucks. I'm not crying about it. I'm saying it is.
You sound like that Starbucks kid from that video.
Oh my word.
People wonder why we need a union at Starbucks, and I am literally about to quit. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but, I really want to. I almost walked out today, and I'm crying in the back room right now, and I almost cried on the floor. It's just... I'm a full-time student. I get scheduled for 25 hours a week.
Have you seen the... Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, this
8.5 hours?
This has to be like a clickbait.
8.5 hours. My dude, come on.
Dude, I work a 12-hour shift, man.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, no. Definitely not complaining about it like that, but...
Yeah.
It is greatly underpaid, and it is mismanaged like crazy. It's...
Still that bad, huh?
Yeah. So I initially was working there because I have a bunch of locations over in Texas. So I thought, hey, it would be cool to kind of use this job. I knew I was going to be taking a pay cut compared to what I'm used to making. But I thought it might be a good idea to just, make a little less for a short period of time and then use it as a springboard and transfer it to one of the locations in Texas. But now that I've been there a few months, I'm just nah, I'm not. It's very apparent to me that I'm going to have to be there for more than a year and kiss butt. And these people in this company is not worth doing that. So I'm going back up to...
Well, any time you try to kiss anyone's ass, that could never...
Sometimes
never
it can.
goes in anyone's favor.
Nah, sometimes it can. It's just...
Yeah.
It's
just I have too much integrity.
Yeah, exactly. And patience and all that jazz. So, yeah, going back up to Alaska, doing some more fishing-related work. Going to make some money. Going to try to do 2 seasons in a row, which would be about 6 months. Yeah. And then come back home, settle a few things, and I'm off to Texas, finally. Now, mind you, things can happen in between now and then, so I don't want to sound too confident, but as far as my mind is concerned, and as far as pretty much any other aspect of my life is concerned, I'm pretty much set. And on top of it, my brother, I don't think I told you this, my brother and his family, his wife and kids, are actually moving to Texas, I think on the 17th. Yeah, the 17th of April.
What part are they moving to?
They're going up to Fort Worth, I believe. So they're going to...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they're about an hour-ish north.
From Dallas. Ew.
Yeah. But they're mainly doing that because that's where, some of...
Now are they permanently staying there, or what?
Yeah. Yep. That's the plan.
I feel like everyone's coming out here from Cali at this point.
Oh man, we talked about this even prior to your move on previous episodes, but yeah, no, it's everyone is leaving California. Pretty much all the natives are leaving California. There's still people moving in, but
well, the people moving in, I feel like, are all the people getting kicked out of other states with those crazy.
They're either getting kicked out or they flock
crazies,
to LA because this is where I get to be a transvestite and follow my dreams of being a non-binary actor, and all that kind of stuff.
And I can smell children's booties. Oh, that's just one. Small percentage of the people going to California.
Yeah. Point is, most people that come here from other states don't understand why California is the way that it is, because in their mind, oh my goodness, Los Angeles, the city of dreams, city of angels.
Oh man.
So it's kind of like when you go to Disneyland as a child, right? When you first go to Disneyland, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cool and stuff, and it's exciting. But when you're an adult and you go to Disneyland and you have to pay however many hundreds of dollars it is just to get in, all of a sudden that innocent awe that you once had for it has disappeared, because now it actually sucks. That I have to spend $160 just to get in, and that doesn't buy me any food.
Well, Disney at this point sucks even more, especially with the crap they've been doing.
For sure.
But, it's too long of a story to get into, and I don't care for Disney at this point to even.
We can talk about Disney again later on, because I do want to talk about one of the things that they revealed. But yeah,
I can imagine what that might be. Okay.
But just to wrap that up, I mean, it's just it's what needs to happen. I mean, we've already spoken about the no homo aspect.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to bring up. Like, me moving here isn't any part of that decision.
Yes, again, we've talked about this before. Okay, for those who don't know, and this part I draw a blank when it comes to whether or not we've spoken about it. But those who don't know, Jan and I tend to not really have a whole lot of emotion that we freely give. I will say that I'm a little bit more... excuse me. I'm a little more willing to care and open up about my care, especially these days, than Jan is. But we're both fairly cold. Oftentimes, people who don't actually know us think that we're just like douchebags, or just kind of creepy or scary, because
you're the creepy guy.
No, you too. You especially at your old job, you're like, yeah, people always think I was kind of scary and stuff, because I wouldn't talk to anybody at my break and stuff.
Oh, okay. That's not creepy. I just think I'm a psychopath.
Oh, so a psychopath isn't creepy?
Yeah.
Anyways, point is, but Jan's a bit more of a hard nut to crack. But prior to your move, I don't care about your reason, okay? Prior to your move, you had one of the most honest moments of our entire friendship ever, okay? And I'm not ever going to forget it, because it was hilarious.
Oh, here we go.
No, it was just hilarious. Had a few drinks and you opened up. No, we've talked about it before. Not on the podcast.
I probably forgot already.
Yeah. You wanted me to go. You wanted me to follow you over there. And then we talked about hey, what would be smart, right? Because you knew that when you guys moved into San Antonio, you knew that it more than likely was going to be for a short period of time. So we talked about, hey, how about you go to San Antonio for a bit? I'll hang back. That way you get to kind of get a feel of the land, on how things go and all that stuff. And if you decide...
put your feet in the dirt, feel the land.
Snap into a Slim Jim. I don't know where that came from, but...
Mowing the lawn because my weeds are growing too long.
But yeah, so... Bing bong, something China. That's basically what the conversation was. And it, mind you, took a little longer. But there was even that short period of time. I don't know if you remember talking to me about this, but there was a very short period where it looked like you guys might even stay in San Antonio. But then that only lasted not even a month. It was at tops, and then that's when you decided hey, we're going to be moving somewhere else and stuff. So it was always a part of the plan for me to follow suit. It was just I wasn't going to move to San Antonio with you, and then all of a sudden you pick up and move because you're two people moving. It comes with its issues, but it does make it a little easier. I'm just a lone gunman trying to, like, you know.
Oh, see, you say two people, but trust me, the whole moving experience with me was a fucking nightmare. Getting yelled at for everything I was doing.
What, by your
tiny
wife?
Asian lady. Yes, dude. Everything I did was wrong. And you know what? It's fine. I didn't get too pissed off.
You didn't cry about it by yourself?
Yeah. I've come to the realization is that she's a bit of a control freak, hence the career she's in. Everything has to go her way, and unfortunately that kind of bleeds into the marriage, and I definitely saw a side of her during the moving day that I've not seen before, and it was scary as shit.
And that explains why you cook and clean and wash dishes and also garden now.
Well, okay, so you're gonna call me a faggot for all
I did. I never said faggot ever. Never.
Or something along those lines. But to be honest with you, man, I legitimately enjoy these things. Now
that's because she's gotten into your brain.
No, dig it. She does. Okay, she does her fair share of work. For me, is this property, this land that I purchased and I work
like a
for.
True American, right there, by the way.
Yes. This piece of land is home, man. It's mine, dude. I paid for it. Like I'm gonna take care of it. There's a different feel to it when you know it's yours. You know.
Of course.
See, because back in my parents' house, I didn't give a shit about any of that because it wasn't mine. I didn't really feel for it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was living rent free. I could have at least helped a little bit, but I understand now. To upkeep,
you worked for it. It's your thing. It's yours. It belongs to you now.
And now I fucking
especially now that you have a house, because I mean, it's one thing to have an apartment. You know, I guess keeping it tidy on the inside is nice, but other than that, there's not much else you can really work on.
Right.
But a house, you got your lawn to take care. You could have easily rented a Mexican, or maybe even like a Chinese boy.
Oh yeah.
You know.
You know what I've. Chinese boy. China. Anyways, I've had like countless amounts of like business cards left on my door for landscaping, and I've saved those cards in an event that I might need help one day. But for the most part, man, there's just something intrinsically nice about working on your lawn.
Oh, for sure.
Making it look nice, putting mulch, making the garden look nice.
Yeah.
And also this, and on the same side of things, very infuriating when you look outside and you realize, holy shit, Texas in spring, everything is so fertile. I just mowed yesterday and everything's growing like fucking, like palm trees. Or mind you, we don't have palm trees out here, but it's funny that the other day, I don't know why, every day my wife, she makes a derogatory term now where she calls me, man, you're being such a Hank Hill right now, especially
that should be a compliment.
I guess. But she caught me the other day literally staring out the window just like, it's gotten too long, I gotta cut it. And she's like, you cut it the other week, you really gonna go out there and cut it again? She's like, but it's grown.
Jeez. I will say, for me growing up, I'm not a huge fan of super trimmed and well kept lawns. I like a little bit of that natural growth. Not to the point where it looks like it's been abandoned,
no.
But, let the little green things do their thing,
Yeah. Well, she told me not to. Well, I was planning on in the morning going out there and doing a bit of trimming, but she pretty much told me, you're not going to do that. Every single fucking time you say you're going to go out there with the weed whacker and trim a bit, you end up doing the whole lawn. So she's like, don't you dare do that. Like, just let it grow a little bit. Just let the grass grow. We had a winter freeze.
I gotta know, with all this yard work that you've been doing, are you any darker?
You know what? I probably might be.
Damn, I don't know if we're gonna
also,
be friends
you know
anymore.
what? I've been maybe. Probably people think I'm. You know what? I bet you my neighbors drive by and think I'm fucking Juan, like fixing this guy's like yard or something.
With your wife? Nah. There's no way that wouldn't work.
Hey, do you want to do my yard too? I'm like, I live here. What the fuck,
dude? Can you imagine? That would be hilarious. And you can do a pretty decent like Mexican Mexican voice.
Oh, no.
That's it.
I don't know.
I've heard you do the Hispanic thing. I'm a little better at it, but that's just because I am,
No,
unfortunately.
you're better. The only thing I can do is older Mexican women in pain. That's all I can do.
That's not too
all
hard.
All it is one. It's just one long vowel. I. Don't even get me started on that. Jesus Christ.
Well, let's hear about it. Give us a story.
Oh, okay. So I don't want to put too much.
Obviously, HIPAA and all that jazz.
And all that stuff, especially with cancel culture.
Just don't name any names, and you're fine.
Well, so I guess just keep it in general. You got your typical older Hispanic woman. Coming into the ER.
Can you describe what the average older Hispanic woman looks like?
What do you mean, decrepit?
Okay, there we go. That's a perfect amount. That's a perfect amount of description.
Those your fucking people. Okay, decrepit.
They're not mine. Anyway, I disowned them.
Anyways, no ingress is one. That's definitely it. I feel like I always have to say that in a sentence. Habla inglés? They're like, no. I'm like, of course.
Hold on. I gotta ask.
What?
When you first encounter them, is that what you say?
I mean, I can.
Yes or no? It's a yes or a no.
Well, habla inglés?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your fault.
Yeah, no problem.
As soon as they encounter some sort of Spanish, they're gonna cling to that like a freaking leech that's starving, because he says,
harsh.
Well, it's true. Okay,
it's fucking harsh.
I've not only lived around them, but I also did Uber for 4 years. I know what these people are, and they're leeches of language. Okay, and they're little bastards. Yes. So if you just, especially from you, because you're not Hispanic, nor do you really look Hispanic. I mean, maybe to the untrained eye, sure, but whatever. But yeah, so as soon as you see them and you speak to them in English, okay, even if they don't know that much, I guarantee you'll have less people telling you, no habla inglés, and all that kind of stuff. But because you greet them initially with, you habla inglés, they're going to be like, oh, this nigga knows Spanish. I'm going to talk to him in Spanish now.
Sadly, I know. Okay, I won't say what I exam Spanish. I know enough of like anatomical terms in Spanish, which is the sad part.
Well, I mean, it's useful, but it should only be useful in those circumstances
in situations
where they really don't. Yeah. But anyways, continue.
But anyways, yeah, that's the type of decrepit woman I get, which is interesting because, I make the comparison. I'll talk about a patient. Typical. I'll let you. All right, we'll just say it. White older middle-aged male, rancher, comes in, gets bulldozed by a 1,500-pound longhorn. And for those of you who don't know what a longhorn is, please look it up, because those things have ridiculous looking, fucking heads with, it looks like just blades coming out of it.
Spoiler alert, it's a bull with long horns.
Yeah, I even know why I had to explain that. It's already in the name. But anyways, look them up. They look gnarly, dude. 1,500-pound beast. Oof. You don't want, to get trampled by that, let alone a horn pierce you, you know what I mean? But anyways, guy was telling me his bull one day just decided to take a swing at him, took full force, a 1,500-pound bull to the chest, Guy comes to the ER, we do the normal, diagnostic test that we do. Obviously, one being, okay, that's another story with this guy. I don't even know if I should tell it. Anyways, comes in, CT, make sure he doesn't have a punctured lung or anything. And of course, he comes to me, imaging suite, typical shoulder, collarbone x-ray, just to see what's up. And, he's kind of like poking at himself where it hurts. And I notice it's a little bit of a gelatinous, texture to his. And I'm just like, okay, that's not normal. But he's pointing at it. The funny thing is, he already knew what was wrong with him. Like, he had, x-ray vision or something. He's just saying, so why are we doing this again? And I'm just like, oh, we just want to make sure, your shoulder is indeed, if there's a fracture there, you just want to see where it's at. He's like, oh, you don't even be doing this. I know my collarbone's broken in half, son. I can feel it right now. And he's, jiggling it and everything. He's putting his finger in it. I'm like, okay, all right. Well, we still have to take the X-ray to be sure, because surgeons, if we do have to do surgery, they want to see where the break's at so they can plan. Blah blah blah, all that mumbo jumbo pre-planning surgery. You get where I'm coming from. Anyways, immediately try to position him. Obviously, when he came in through the door, he had his hand, kind of just grasping on that area. And of course, anything with X-rays, you kind of want to keep that area clear, especially with other bones, because the hand is going to be in the way. And obviously, you don't want to see the hand bone covering the shoulder joint, correct? So I asked him, sir, if you can, you don't have to force it if it's painful, because obviously he was holding that collarbone in place, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, can you just move your hand for a brief moment? It'll be a quick second. He's like, oh, you mean this? And he just completely just moves his shoulder and kind of winces at it. But the total G as he was didn't really show or give an eye. You know what I mean? So I shoot the X-ray and immediately I couldn't hold myself together. Normally I'm supposed to keep it discreet and not to show reaction. But as soon as I saw that first image, I'm like, ooh, that ain't normal. Yeah. Just instinctively just saying it out loud. And he's like, it's broken, ain't it? And I'm like, I can't tell you because it's not my job. I'll let the doctor tell you. But you can take a look at it. And he's like, all right, can we, so obviously I finished my sequence, get the images I needed, bring him over and, just to take a look at it. Obviously I can't diagnose. It's out of my scope. But comes over, he's like, yeah, that's pretty broken, ain't it? I'm like, oh, you telling me, man. He's like, that ain't normal, ain't it? I'm like, yeah, it's not very normal. He's like, I figured it's fucking jelly up here. And he keeps pushing his hand against it. Jeez. And jiggling it around like in his shoulder area. I'm just like, and in my head I see this guy, and then I compare it to obviously the decrepit people that you call your people.
Sure.
Screaming bloody murder after I shoot the X-ray. And mind you, I've seen enough X-rays to know whether or not something is wrong. Nothing wrong with this fucking woman.
Pero it hurts.
Pero me duele. Oh.
Ay, mucho duele.
Ay. Anyways, that's pretty much the story. Yeah. There's more to that story. I'd rather not get into that, but
yeah, no, I think you've done a fine enough job. But basically, that's normal, cool that's people. Just... Hey, things hurt. I'm here. Let's try to make things easy for the people that work here. Versus dumb immigrant. Ay, mi pata duele, pero no habla inglés. Also, ay, the whole time. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. Talk about that one that just pretty much put all of her dead weight on your dumb little skinny body.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring this up. Anyways, I don't know. But before you cut me off, I was gonna say I don't know what is up with you. Well, I keep saying you people.
Yeah, man. Jeez, racist.
Anyways, older Hispanic women thinking it's a telenovela or something. I don't understand it. Why do they have to be so dramatic? I have, dude. You know what? I've had a 5-year-old come in through the ER, fucking forearm in half, bone sticking out, and they're completely docile, and they're moving just fine. And I'm like, holy crap! I take the first couple of pictures. I'm like, how are you not wincing in pain from this? And he's like, oh, is it broken? I'm like, you tell me. Your fucking arm is like a Laffy Taffy right now. Probably not a Laffy Taffy. Those are kind of rigid. I'd say more of like a Twizzler. Yeah. But anyways, yeah.
I appreciate the attention to detail there.
Yeah. I get you. But I get people like this, and you wonder why. I'm slowly hating humanity more and more every day. But it's people like that.
I don't think it's possible for me to hate people anymore, so I don't blame you for it.
I'm delving into depths I've never...
Which is saying a lot, because both you and I have never really quite shown a fondness for the general public. I care, kind of going back to what I was talking about as far as the difference between you and I do care about humanity a little bit more because
so that's like an Alex Jones quote right there. I care about humanity. I love people.
I love people, but I hate them. They're stupid, but I love them.
Slapping each other on the butts. I mean, I would be watching on the SAT feed as the first explorers arrive on Europa. And by the way, with the technology the globalists have had, we could have been there 20 years ago, probably are. With probes, at least we know. They could already have basically giant extraction units on different planets we know have incredible resources and different planetoids, and could already have huge off-world colonies. And I would be watching the sat screens cheering on the settlers. I mean, that would be, and you'd see a ship, malfunction and its reactor blow up, and that would be watching real men and women out there, doing space jumps and all of it. I mean, that's what I want, not men in tights slapping each other on the ass. Excuse me.
Anyway,
okay.
but yeah, no, I feel bad for the general public, and I want like the majority of humanity to not suck. But at the end of the day,
it's a tall order, man.
It is, especially these days, unless you're in Japan.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah.
White knighting again for Japan.
So the lady.
Oh, back to the lady. Yeah, I mean, really not much to it. I mean, just like, I don't know. For me, it's, I have no idea where to start with this one. Because, I normally go through the same parameters I do with most people. I ask them, hey, can you stand on your own 2 feet? I mean, do you need assistance? Can you please give me 100% okay? And obviously, I do this about 2-3 times. I check. I do a patient transfer, and then they say, "Yeah, I can move. And I'm like, "Are you sure?" And yes, because obviously when you go to the ER lobby and they're in a wheelchair, you kind of have like your second guesses about mobility, and that's just me. Besides me protecting myself, I'm also protecting yourself from getting injured even more. But I need you to be honest with me. Like, if you can't get up, fine.
Did you say that part in Spanish?
No, she spoke English.
Oh, this one spoke English? Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, she said she speaks English.
Apparently,
but then she started speaking Spanish to me when she fell, so that's a little bit confusing. So I don't know. I'm not gonna get into that. It's too. It makes my head hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyways, for me, as a trained medical professional in the field that I'm in, we do get trained in patient transfers, the easy way to do it, and we have different protocols from a patient that can't stand to a patient that's comatose. We have our methods. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I asked her, I'm like, hey, are you strong enough to stand? Are you able to transfer? And it was a simple X-ray, and she said yes, and checked all those marks. The thing is, I saved my ass from this turning into I guess what we call like a safety report, because anytime a patient actually falls on the ground, then yeah, you kind of have to put a report because they could potentially be injured. Even though I'm pretty sure they signed, we can't sue you unless I get injured because I'm asking for service here, because most hospitals do that at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
But anyways, the whole story was I asked her if she can get up. I mean, she was coming in for constipation, let's just say that. She hasn't taken a shit in months based on her chart.
Oh, marvelous.
So I think she was just super backed up or something. I don't know. I'm just glad she didn't take a shit. That's all I can say.
Too many tortas.
Ay, menudo. Anyways, so I go to transfer her, and then I don't know if she just dropped her weight on purpose, or I don't know if she's just really that, just idiotic, I suppose. The way I put the wheelchair, right? For most wheelchairs, modern wheelchairs these days, you can pull out the footrest to be out of the way, and all you have to do is literally stand up, turn around, take a seat on the bed. That's all you have to do. I even showed her, pantomime, how I want you to do it, like showing her how to do it. Mm-hmm. And for I don't know what came across this lady's mind. I thought that she needed to step over the foot slides to get to the bed, when all you had to do was just walk forward and take a seat. Well, guess what happened? Her pants got caught on the foot slide, and she literally dropped all her weight. And if it wasn't for me being on that side, luckily I was on that side. If it was on the other side, I'm probably filing a report.
Yeah.
But I happened to be there, to grab her, and I have no idea how I kept her up, because I'm 150 pounds, and this lady probably well over north of 280. Damn. Definitely one of the bigger tortas. And all I heard was, "Ay, mijo, I'm sorry." And I'm just like, and all I could hear from me was, and I was just like, "Come on, you're deadlifting, you push."
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I don't know how I did it. Probably just sheer adrenaline and panic. I managed to get her on the bed. My skinny ass.
Did you have to touch any of her dulces?
Probably.
You don't remember?
I don't know. There's a lot of fucking flaps. I don't even know what the hell I was grabbing at that point. All I know was that she can probably take off with the amount of wings she had. Who knows?
Ah, man.
Anyways, yeah, there's one of many stories.
Yeah.
It's one of the interesting things about working in the ER, working in a hospital, that you never know what's going to come through those doors, and you never know what's going to piss you off that day.
Fall right in your lap, almost literally.
Yeah. It's like Dungeons and Dragons. Roll 7. Okay.
Oh, that was super gay.
Yeah.
You know, on that note, though.
Okay, what?
Would you ever
Play Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Well, I think I told you the story. I've been kicked out of a Dungeons and Dragons event.
Right. But, like, you barely played.
I mean, I played that time.
Yeah. Yes, I know. But I mean, like, in a legitimate thing where you could basically... Because here's why I ask, okay?
Is it the whole, like, Biden Dungeons and Dragons thing?
Well, I mean, that is funny.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if you've been watching General Sam's Dive Laughter channel, where it's just I think I might have told you about it, but yeah, it's just...
I think you might have briefly mentioned it.
Yeah, it's him and his friends doing a D&D podcast, basically. Now, I'm not thinking about doing a podcast of it, but
I'm already doing it. Jeez. No one's listening. What the fuck's...
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Let's make more podcast channels. Get more viewers that we don't have.
Right. No, I mean, like, I wouldn't be against doing it at some point, but, like, I'm actually considering finding, like, a cool group of people. Yeah.
Okay, like, do, like, a Dungeons and Dragons thing video that kind of continues on and all that bullshit.
No, not even a video. I'm just talking about for fun.
Oh, you mean not even, like, a YouTube thing?
No.
Just people hanging out?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're a fucking loser.
Well, here's the thing, okay? I've also only ever played D&D, I think, once or twice. Both times, it was just like at a party. And, you know, pretty much. I mean, it's alcohol and stuff. You're having a good time. And honestly, when you're with a chill group of people who aren't all anal about, like, actually, your character can't do that because in this world, meh, meh, meh. Like, no, you know, people who are...
Well, in this world, your character has no rights.
Oh man, am I black? But probably one of the worst things to say at a normal D&D thing. But anyways, yeah, so I mean, like, with cool people, it's actually kind of fun. And I kind of forgot about how fun it actually can be until I was watching.
Well, see, that's probably the reason why. Well, I wouldn't call it a bad experience. I had a good time, but, you know, the people I played with might have taken it a bit too seriously. But mind you, probably the worst setting to first get into D&D was... I don't know if you remember that comic book store, Emerald Knights in Burbank.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, I was obviously during my nerdy-ass fucking phase, you know. I think I was picking up comic books one weekend, and I guess they were having, like, a D&D thing, and I guess one of the owners invited me to play with them. Immediately, I don't think I'll ever be... At least my face should be on the store from now on, just for being a complete asshole that night.
Can you enlighten the 2 people that are listening to what you did?
I mean, I think I'm pretty sure I told you. Well,
yeah, you told me. That's what I'm saying for the people.
Well, you know, I didn't realize that hardcore D&D players, they kind of continue on with an ongoing quest to so-and-so, God knows. You know, it's like a continuing thing, right?
Yeah.
Every week it's a new adventure with the same dungeon master. And obviously they invite, you know, strangers to be kind of like background or like people they add on to like a, you know, kind of like a sitcom. Like, hey, the playing fool, you know what I mean?
What was it, freaking Seinfeld D&D?
What about these gnomes? Anyways, yeah, I came in. I think I might have been a bard. I think I wanted to be a bard. I can't remember what fucking character I was. Anyways, I accepted any generic fucking role, and I think even the player mod. It goes to show you how, like, I knew nothing about the game because everyone had like a really detailed like player model figure. I just came in with like a black and white plastic figure I just bought for like $4 off of like the bargain aisle just to join in. No, I remember now. I was a goddamn goblin.
You were a goblin?
Yeah,
why did you want to be the Jews?
Oh, you mean the rat people? Anyways, yeah, I was a goblin character, and I think so. Whenever it was my turn, for some reason, I thought it'd be funny to kill my comrades.
Of course.
And I didn't know anything about dice roll, but I guess my first dice roll was luck. But anyways, the way these hardcore D&D players have it goes is once your character dies, you're pretty much out of the whole story. So you gotta wait till like the next D&D night or whatever event. But anyways, I killed an ongoing character for like 3 weeks, just for the hell of it. And the guy didn't take too kindly to it and called me an asshole. And that was it. Was never invited again.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds like something.
Yeah, it sounds about something. I just thought it was like because you play with your imagination. For me, I'm kind of a twisted mind, and I try to find things that kind of make me laugh, and I find enjoyment out of stabbing my own teammates, I suppose. So I think I rolled, and it was like, so what'd you want to do? Can I slit his throat? Why would you do that? Like, we're on the same team. I mean, so am I not allowed to do it? I was obviously trying to reason with the dungeon master what I'm allowed to do. So he's like, well, you can. Anything can happen in D&D, but why would you do that? Like, even he was just like,
yeah,
dude, you're really going to fucking do this, man? I'm like, yeah.
At least wait, did he actually let you, though?
Yeah, he let me do it.
Okay, then he's not that bad then.
He wasn't
there
that
are
bad,
some DMs who just straight up will not let you do, like, have free will, basically.
Yeah, but, but still, I think they were his buddies with those guys. So do you really want to? But I guess he kept the integrity of Dungeons and Dragons, which is it's up to you what you want to do based on a dice roll, which I respect. Yeah. At the same time, he was just like, man, you're a dick.
Well, I mean, he wasn't wrong.
Yeah, he wasn't wrong at all, honestly. But anyways, yeah, I was like, hey, can I slit his throat? Oh, he's like, oh, why would you do that? I was like, oh, you could roll whatever number. I forgot it was. It was those weird, dice that are shaped like pyramids.
Yeah.
Or no, diamonds or whatever. I don't even know what shape they are. Apparently, I rolled high and I critted him, and he bled to death.
Nice.
That was it. And immediately I was out of the game because the next roll, everyone wanted to kill me in the next thing, and they pretty much gave up on me.
That's like the thing, man. Like with D&D, the way I kind of see it is, kind of like with tryhards on video games and stuff. You're gonna have people who are like, oh, you can't be like doing stuff, right? But like part of the wonder that is video games and stuff like D&D is like, okay, well, it's free roam and it's not real life. Why can't I do the things that I can't do in real life? Like,
yeah, because
I remember
it's almost like Gary's mod. Some people in Gary's mod are like really like into their character, which is interesting.
I remember one of the 2 times that I played, I was all about molesting. I think she was like an elf or something, but some chick.
In D&D?
Yeah, there's some sort of elfish looking creature that looked kind of hot. I don't know. I don't remember if it's an elf or not, but it's something. Anyways, and yeah, I never. It was like every so often in the story, I would just roll to molest, but like lightly.
Okay, first of all, what the hell were you playing?
This was at some like nerd hostel house thing. Not hostile as in like hostile, but like hostile as in like it's filled with a bunch of different people. But yeah, one of them or 2 of them. 1 or 2 of them were from our first Japanese class together. Yeah, so there was part of like that group and stuff. So it's not something I carried on for very long.
I did keep in contact. We did it with the Jew, I suppose. But yeah.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, that guy.
He's dead?
I don't know.
Did he die?
I don't know, bro. Ever since that concert, I think we did. We caught up one time, but he was like trying to get me to like download this app that supposedly you can make a bunch of money on, and I'm like, maybe you're telling me the truth, but also this sounds weird. So no.
Sounds like one of your schemes.
Yeah, very, very suspicious and familiar sounding. Yeah. But ever since then, I haven't heard from him.
Yeah, that's a part of life I've come to accept, that people just seem to fall out
Yeah,
of it.
it happens. You know, it's a cycle of life.
It's interesting.
I don't hate him.
It's
Like if he were to come back around and hit me up, I'd hang out again. But
yeah, that's true. That's right.
it's kind of like the whole thing, like with our other friends and stuff from high school. It's like I don't really hate any of them. Like even with Rudy, right? Like we could name drop because nobody knows who the hell he is.
He's one of our subscribers.
Oh, I know Rudy.
That's me. That's me.
Can you? I doubt it. But but yeah, I mean, like even with him, I don't hate him. He didn't do anything that really like personally made me angry. It was just, bro, you're kind of like garbage at living and stuff. You know, it's like.
Aren't we all though?
Yes, in some degree, but like there needs to be some sort of growth and some sort of maturity and the cool thing about like you and I, and again I preface this with no homo.
Here we go, you narcissist.
Narcissist? No, that would be about me.
Anyways, go ahead.
I don't know how to speak English. China number one. Anyways, we've had our indifferences. Honestly, there's only been like less than 5 times where you and I have actually kind of gotten pissed off at each other. And then it was short-lived. Okay. Like super short-lived. Because one or the other is able to kind of see. I don't really
hold shit against people.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. And that's part of maturing that I feel like a lot of people who end up kind of falling out of the group,
suppose, yeah.
That's what they're missing. They got to hold on to something. Like that's what drives them. And I'm like, no, that's dumb though.
There's not much to living if that's all you can grasp on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And even if it's not like personal, right? Like let's say it's not a matter of one of your friends is holding something that you did to them against you for like years. Maybe it's just as simple as like, hey, you're still butthurt because that one thing happened to you in your life a long time ago. Like, bro, we're like in our 30s now. Why are you still bent out of shape? Like that's just almost equally as bad as holding a grudge.
That's where it gets. That's where it hits home a little bit. Yeah. It's like, damn, we're getting older and we're still holding the same grudges.
Yeah, it's just
that
like
we had 10 years ago in fucking high school. Like,
it's retarded. It's just so dumb. Like, and don't get me wrong. I don't want to sound like too like insensitive and stuff. Like
holier than thou.
Yeah,
and all that stuff.
Like I get like if it was like a really substantial thing that happened and like changed your life, you know. I'm not saying you can't talk about it, or maybe every now and...
You made me become a woman.
Well, I mean, you made me chop it off. You know, like I get that. You know, like hey, we can talk about it and stuff, but but the difference is that it doesn't weigh you down, and it's like okay, for instance, I'll bring it home, you know, to a personal level for me, right? My ex, you know. I haven't been.
Oh, is this the story?
No, it's not the story. No,
damn it!
Listen, I'll tell you before I tell a podcast. Okay, just one of these days. But anyways,
you're never gonna tell me.
I will. Just chill out. Anyways,
I'm gonna forget again. Watch.
Okay, well then this makes it easier for me.
Whatever. Yeah, I don't need to know.
So
you can keep it to yourself.
So my ex, it's been about 7 years now. Since then, and I have not had a relationship ever since. Now, for the first definitely the first year, and then I would say probably 2 to 3 years after, it was really hard still because like I invested a lot in that relationship. I was literally like basically really close to proposing. I didn't buy the ring, but I had saved up plenty to buy a ring and stuff, and I was gonna do it.
Fair.
You know, so I was. That was it for me. You know, so when that one went south, it really sucked, and it no bueno. You know, but like when we hang out or we talk or whatever, like I'm not crying about it. I'm not freaking like, oh, bro, I don't even want to look at other girls right now because my heart. Like, no.
That might be an over-exaggeration for most people, I think.
Well, yes, I know. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't ruin the time that we hang out. You know, it comes up when it's useful, like back when you had questions and stuff about your wife at the time, prospective. I don't know.
Perspective.
Before she was your wife and before like you were like serious about her being a girlfriend, you know, you had questions and stuff, and I was like, hey, well, this is an appropriate time to bring up my experiences with certain things that are similar and things that are different, blah blah blah. So you know, you use it to other people's advantage. It was never like this thing where it was like, oh man, Jan can't hang out with me because I'm just freaking whining and crying and being emo all the time, you know.
Well, glad you weren't.
Well, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so it's not that you can't be sad. It's not that you can't be angry because something happened. Just don't hold on to it, and then don't ruin the time that you and your friends have because you can't get over it. Like that's to me is like the difference. You know, if, for instance, with Rudy, I mean,
here we go again.
You know, we're still on the topic. It's relevant. I do, to a degree, miss the time we had back in the day, back when we were in high school and stuff, and shortly after. It was fun. It was fun making music together. It was fun jamming and stuff. But that was then, right? And then with what happened with you and him later on, when you were well into your adulthood, it's like, oh, the dude never changed. Not just like the good parts, because I mean, hey, if you have good parts, I mean, I guess don't change that. But like all of the teen angst, all of the dumb little whining and complaining,
it's still there.
Yeah, it's like, why is that still there? Like, okay,
you know, I can't help Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
It was a little bit Elizabeth. I couldn't help it. Was a little. I can't say that word right now. A little bit selfish on my part to kind of put myself in that environment again, like the whole teen angst and making music.
Yeah.
Because to me, I felt like, you know, with my situation, I was kind of, you know, exploring my emotions and seeing how to vent.
Yeah, how to be.
And then for that brief moment, I guess. I mean, I still wear dark colors, so I don't know about that. You know, being that short period of time where I hung out with these guys, played music, drank a shit ton, partied. And then after the 4 or 5 months binger doing that crap, I wake up one day and be like, all right, it's out of my system. Mm-hmm. Time to go do stuff again. And immediately when I got to that mindset, I think I completely ghosted everyone. Like the asshole I am. But I don't know.
Wait, was this before or after or during our little breakup?
Oh, no, we were talking already.
Oh, okay, so this is after. Okay.
This was during the Rudy stuff, remember?
Gotcha.
We were already talking. But, you know, to be in that situation, I was just like, yeah, I'm done. Like, it's out of my system. I'm ready to go do something again, or
that's
try to be
like
productive.
live life in a different, you know,
I couldn't imagine that day in and day out these guys would be up till like 6 a.m. fucking like snorting coke and partying and music, and the next day the same shit. I'm like, is this really what we do? You guys do almost every other weekend, or almost every weekend actually.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's fun for like every once in a while. You get to meet people,
exactly,
party and have a good time, but like when is enough? Like, you got to come to a realization that this isn't like for the long haul. This isn't, you know.
Yeah, and that's not all there is. Like, kind of like what you're saying. You know, it's fun every now and then. Like, for instance, you know, concerts and stuff. I still like going to concerts, and I, you know, like for instance, this past few days, I went to 2, and I took off several days from work just to do it because I wanted to actually be out late and drink and, you know, meet people and just not be restrained by time limits. And it was a great damn time. And I miss being able to do that more frequently, but at the same time, I'm glad it's not all the time. Because like and I feel like that's why some people get worse and worse when they do something repetitively. It's because
they don't know how to escape the chain of good feels, I suppose, is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, that's like literally their only outlet for enjoyment. I'm like, dude, like there's a lot of other ways that you can enjoy life, you know? Yeah. Sometimes it's just going for a cruise, you know? Sometimes it's sitting down and watching something that you want to watch that's just kind of wholesome, or read a book, or make some music.
Mowing the lawn.
Mowing the damn lawn in your Crocs, for crying out loud. Who am I to judge? But
I mean, that was a good time. But you know what? And this is where I come to this. There's a level of enjoyment. There's enjoyment that I feel like is deserved, if you know what that means, like something that you're going to constantly do without necessarily earning it. But I feel like the enjoyment and the free time that you earn after you've had a hard day's work,
True.
To me, it's miles. Like it just feels way
Absolutely.
better, in my opinion.
I think it can be exemplified to something as simple as like crapping.
Crapping.
We both can't talk.
Oh, it's hard. Oh, it feels good.
But cracking open a cold one after a long day's work, right? Yes. Can you crack open a tasty beer without doing any work at all whatsoever and it still be kind of tasty? Sure, why not?
Yeah,
but there is something uniquely, noticeably different when you've worked your butt off all day and you come home, you crack open a good one and you're like, oh man, that hits the spot. Like, that's good. You know? So I mean, if you work for something and then you go and you do the things that you used to do that you love doing, I mean, sure, go for it. But I mean, if you're just sitting at home doing the same thing that you were doing back in junior high and high school and, essentially leeching off of other people's either money or other people's talent or whatever it is.
I feel like that was just a shot.
I didn't say who.
Hey man, I don't think my guitar riffs are that amazing. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Listen, bro. I wasn't that long ago. I actually came across the recordings. They were good. They were tasty, especially considering the fact that I can barely play at all right now. Excuse me.
No, but anyways, it's because I'll, like, for example, today I worked almost an 11-hour shift dealing with the shit I gotta deal with. I come home and take a shower, get out of the shower, and I crack open a nice beer and I just sit on the couch for a bit and dog runs over and chills a little bit. My wife is there, getting dinner ready. I'm like, it hits different, man. I'll just say it that much.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's very important, and I think that helps kind of like it weeds out those people. Is when you start to understand, like, hey, this is actually how life is supposed to be, and not my grungy, emo, gay, teen angst self.
Damn, you really are taking shots today. Eesh.
Well, I mean, I'm also taking it at myself because there were things. Everybody has their things.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be a whole other episode where we just talk about like our individual teen angsts. But anyways,
I don't know if I probably still have it to an extent. I think.
Well, I mean, we all do. I mean, and that's the thing.
Yeah.
A decent human being understands. Hey, I will never perfect everything about myself, but I should always be looking for ways to improve, and that's not just your outlook. It could be your physical things.
The wrong mindset is to accept my inequities, like everyone says. No, that's the wrong thing to do. You want to improve.
Yeah. This day and age, it's like, oh, love me for who I am and blah blah blah.
But you suck.
Yeah, exactly. You have to understand that you're actually not hot stuff. Like you got to chill out.
Yeah.
Oh, but I've got an OnlyFans with 1 million people. Yeah, well, because that's you show your nipple. Okay, I mean that doesn't mean you're of any value.
Yeah, it's true. You know how many people have nipples? I got nipples too, but I don't show them to people, do I?
No, and I'm glad you don't because they're tiny.
Negative A's. It's that next level of emotional awareness that I've come to learn probably not too long ago, and to be honest with you, it's ever since I've learned how to be more emotionally intelligent, accept where my emotions are and how to improve and where to improve. Man, I've taken, well, I sound like a narcissist for saying this, but I've taken leaps and bounds from where I used to be, where I feel like I'm unrecognized.
Listen, hey, I got your back, homie. I got your back.
Okay.
I can say, and you know how bluntly honest I can be. All right.
Yes.
You actually have made leaps and bounds of progress. So much so that it's worried me.
How so?
Because, listen, all right, I'll just put it this way. The amount of care that you show now is way beyond what it used to be. The amount of patience that you have, even for your wife, is leaps and bounds from what it used to be. Not specifically with your wife, but I mean with other relationships in the past and stuff. And also just your ability to stand up to bat and get stuff that needs to be done, like around the house and all that kind of stuff. Like you'll have your moments where you're like, oh man, this is crazy, or this sucks, or it's kind of overwhelming. But you've never been like, I hate doing this and I feel like my wife needs to do more, anything like that. Like, you've actually been pretty different in that realm of things. And yeah, I mean, you've made changes, very noticeable changes. So it's not just you being a narcissist.
I'll tell you what it is. It's the weirdest thing. And I don't know if it's just age or if it's just, me emulating probably how I've been brought up, probably watching my father do it for years. But like, I've kind of learned to, like, when there's a shit ton of tasks that come to me, obviously, like, I handle the bills and most majority of the house stuff that comes my way. Yeah. Or whatever gets, broken has to be fixed, and I try to do it myself. And still I work a full-time schedule, so, finding the time can be a little bit overwhelming at times. Mm-hmm. But, like, whenever something like that happens, I just, I have a little board in my office. I just throw on the whitelist, and it's just tasks that I need to do. But the thing is, it's like, I'm not anxious about getting to it, or seeing if, oh my god, am I gonna get this done. It just comes down to, like, once I get this done, then I can go reward myself with something, like a beer, or I can go out to eat, and that makes the task a little bit more enjoyable, because now after I finish it, it's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go grab a beer, or I'm gonna go to my favorite bar. There's a bar just down the street, live music and all that stuff, and I'm not with my wife, and go out there by and it's pet friendly, so I take my dog with me.
That's the only part of you that's changed. That's been kind of gay, but I mean, it's
the dog part. You know what?
Remember when you first got that thing? You're like, yeah, man, I hate it. It's like, well, it's just for my wife and stuff. And then all of a sudden, like a couple weeks later, I'm like, hey, my dog's kind of racist. He's kind of cute.
Oh, dude, don't even get me started on how bad it gets.
I'm sure it gets plenty bad, but we'll go into that some other time.
I mean, there's a potential chance we might be introducing a second dog.
Oh no! Don't do that. Get a damn kid first.
But it's a German Shepherd.
Oh wait, okay, that's kind of cool.
I kind of want to, she got the dog first off. I'm like, if we're getting another dog, I'm picking the next dog. And there's a couple of German Shepherds around.
Yeah, the German Shepherd would be cool.
Yeah.
All right. I can't blame you too much for that. I remember when I had my German Shepherd for a short period of time. That was pretty sick.
Yeah. But, and they will murder anything that comes through my door, including myself at some point.
Oh, I don't think I ever told you about that dog, huh?
No, you didn't.
Yeah. I mean, we could go into that later, but this was this was during our little 4-year separation. But yeah, I had a German Shepherd for a bit. It was awesome.
I mean, you already talked about the separation already.
Yeah, I know.
Countless times.
Yeah.
You don't need to get back.
No, that's why I'm not talking about it. I'm just referencing that for like time's sake. Like I like that way you have a time reference. But anyways.
Yeah, I guess.
Speaking of which,
speaking of time,
before we go, I wanted to ask: have you seen Disney's reveal of the quote-unquote real-life lightsaber?
God damn it. We're going back to Disney? Is that going to end?
I told you.
No, I haven't. What is it?
Okay, I want you to look it up right now. Look up the reveal. I'll fill in the time as everybody's doing their things. While Jan's looking for that, I don't know. I know that there are some nerds that listen to us. Hello. Does it piss you off when a giant corporation that has tons and tons of money makes a product, whether it be
is this a video I'm supposed to be watching?
Yeah. Just look up the Disney lightsaber reveal. Anyways, does it piss you off when a company that has the means to actually come out with something cool and amazing only puts in so much effort to bring out something mediocre? Because to me, that's annoying, especially if it's something like that I love, right? I'm not really going to care if they come out with like a Power Rangers thing. Like, yeah, I watched the show, but I never cared that much. But like for Star Wars and, stuff like that, like it'd be cool because, I mean, they have the ability to do cool stuff. But even with the billions of dollars that they have, they basically always give us the bare minimum.
Now, is the gripe you were expecting like a real lightsaber to cut through shit?
Well, no, I'm not expecting that. But would you call that a real life lightsaber?
I mean, it looks like a fucking toy. Why?
Exactly. It looks like a toy. It's not a real life lightsaber. Stop calling it one. Number 2. Do you see how careful that dude's being with it?
That's probably gonna break if he starts swinging.
Yeah, he's not swinging it around or anything. And if you look closely, you can see a slight wobble. And people are hyped. They're absolutely hyped about this thing. And I'm just sitting back here being like, wow, that's garbage.
Well, this is a completely other topic for the, the simplords that seem to just give the money to all these corporate overlords for crap they keep putting out.
Yeah, kind of like the video games and crap like that. But
no, this is another wormhole. It's not getting.
No, I know. I just wanted to see what your opinion was of seeing it.
But now that you've mentioned it, we will save that for the next episode.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right.
It was a pleasure. Everyone? Oh, you want to sign us off? Go ahead.
That's fine. You opened, I'll sign off. Well, everyone's glad to be back.
Okay, but you got to use like a sexy low voice.
No, that's fucking stupid.
You'd be like, see you guys later. Like that.
Anyways, what are you drinking before we get off?
I am personally sipping on this, I don't even know how to pronounce it. Doka Bia. It's Dokkaebier. Yuzu Blondie. It's a blonde ale with yuzu in it, and it is absolutely wonderful. You would actually really enjoy this one because I know you like yuzu too.
Yeah, I do like.
What about yourself, sir?
I am drinking the Shiner Strawberry Blonde. Only comes out seasonally here in spring.
Yeah.
Great state of Texas, and I have paired that with a ginger ale.
Oh.
And what is this? Not Hibiki, the other brand. Hatozaki. Hatozaki ginger ale with some large ice cubes.
Sounds delectable.
And a couple of shots of soju. That's right.
Jeez, dude. Somebody doesn't work tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm off tomorrow. That's why I'm enjoying it.
I know. That's why I'm only having a beer. Kind of feels lame, but whatever.
Sad. Anyways, everyone, have a good night. Good morning, where the hell you are. Pretty much in 2 different time zones. Anything else you have to say?
Ciao.
Pardon me if I'm sentimental when we say goodbye. Don't be angry with me, should I cry?